dog, one child, one youth, one dog, you think big, you. Together we can do this in our continent, you. Think big, you. I say one dog, one child, one youth, one dog, you. Think big, you. Together we can do this in our continent, you. Think big, you.
Today is March the 6th, 2023. It is 4 minutes to 3 p.m. This is Chief Abundance. I took a little time to do a little research. And the research was about wealth, those who have made it. And I look to see the top 10 richest person in the world. And they mention Jeff Bezos. They mention Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Larry Ellison, Steve Ballmer, Carlos Slim, Larry Page, Bill Gates, etc. Theations, there are no scarcity in the world. There are no scarcity in the world. I went into a Lebanese store not too long ago, and I was, looking for some items. And a lot of the items that they are selling, and I want our people to realize that we are primarily consumers. And that is what Dr. Lee said some years ago, that we are primarily consumers. And that anyone can make billion from us. We don't have no problem with that. And so I see a lot of these things are made in Lebanon, not in Nigeria, not in South Africa, not in Cameroon, not in Togo, not in Ethiopia, but they are made in Lebanon. I go back to my country of Antigua and Barbuda. The last time I was there, our main street that we call Market Street, if you find 5 indigenous Antiguans who own a store and is operating, you will have it very difficult to find. So the question is, Abundance, who control your economic zone in your country? There are 2 primarily sets of people that control our economic zone in Antigua and Barbuda. That is the Syrians and the Chinese. We have sold the country to those 2, the economic bloc, central capital to those 2, and we sold the outskirt of our country to the Caucasian. That's what we have done in Antigua. And as you go around the Caribbean, I can tell you it's the same system and policy in place. You go to St. Martin, you go to St. Lucia, you go just around the Caribbean, it's the same economic model. You come to Africa, it's even worse. So the question must be asked, how did we get where we are today? Why are we where we are? something is wrong with this model. I don't know if I'm the only one seeing it. I can recall a couple of years ago that my cousin, and the last time I was in Antigua, she had to actually give up her store for Chinese to operate because our people are not supportive of our own. And so she gave it up so she can keep it. And that is Madam Goa. She's my cousin. I know it. I don't know if she's running it today, but the people in Antigua, they will tell me, because they're listening, they will tell me if she now takes it over. But the last time I was there, on Market Street, even though she owned the building, she had to basically rent it out. After so many years operating, it was not economically viable for her to run. But a Chinese will take it and will make profit. I'm talking about in my country of Antigua and Barbuda. And you know why? Because we believe that foreign is better and white is best. That is it. That is our mentality. We have been brainwashed. Physically free, but mentally enslaved. And it is the worst type of slavery, is mental slavery. Because as Bob Marley says, none but ourselves can free our mind. And how do we free our mind? Because the political system is not going to help you. Look around. It was not too long ago the youth ambassador spoke and he told us that he was invited to a symposium in the greatest country in Africa, Nigeria. Invited to the progressive and new model of wealth building, blockchain and cryptocurrency. And none of the presenters looked like him. None of them looked like him. You're talking about in an African country, nobody looks like you on the stage because we believe that foreign is better and white is best. It's the same thing in the Caribbean. The same thing Antigua has adopted. That is why they will be embarrassed. They will be embarrassed after embarrassment. They will have scandal after scandal. And so we have the economic model that TAC is on a mission to cancel. And so, Tiashans, do you think that the journey is going to be easy? It's not going to be easy. But what TAC is on the road to do is to use the traditional module because it is marred with corruption. Hence the reason the top-bottom economic module never function. Look at your country. Look at the people who are eating the government's money, neglecting infrastructure development, neglecting education, neglecting health, neglecting technology, all because of greed. And so in the intact diasporan city, we will have two modules there. Two economic modules. The fiat system and the crypto system. I am saying to the Tiashan that we will create the next Singapore, the next Dubai style of operation, and far superior than any other. Hence the reason those names that I've called, the top 10 that I've just called, the richest men on earth, they do not want to see you and I at that level. That is why they're fighting cryptocurrency. You may not hear them, but trust me, they are the ones that dictate for all the international bodies that governs us. The WHO, the UN, the UNICEF, they're all influenced by when you have money, people respect you. They don't respect you except you have money. Nobody. And those who have resources, but they don't know what to do, nobody respects them either. Look at Africa. I just spoke about the Lebanese, what they're doing. What are they doing with Africa? The Chinese, they are extracting the raw materials. You know why? Because by extracting the raw materials, they are creating jobs for their people. They are building their economy. Africans, they are building their economy from your natural resources. And so they extract your raw materials and they take it to the west, take it to the east to refine. That's hundreds and millions of jobs that they're creating. And what they do when they finish with the material, they sell it back to you at an inferior quality with prime value. Inferior quality with prime costs. That's what you get. And the other economic module on that, the people that control the economy, it's the Lebanese here, the Syrian in my country, and the Chinese and the Lebanese here, the Syrian and the Chinese in my country. And so what they're doing here now, they are manufacturing a lot of things, importing in Africa. And who are the consumers? We, primarily consumers. Tiashans, we have to wake up. This has nothing to do with prayer and fasting. A matter of fact, those who pray and fast and go to church every Saturday and Sunday, it's an economic embarrassment to the infinite. An economic embarrassment to the infinite. Something is missing. Something is missing. And so, what is missing, you will not find it in church, nor on the campaign of your politician. Because if it were there, you would have been in a different position today. I said, what you're looking for, you will not find it in the pew, and you will not find it on the campaign. And that is our biggest problem, because those two organizations are the ones that controlled our physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual dimensions. These two institutions, the worst that ever existed, that have kept this world in abject poverty. And so, I know they don't like to hear it, but when you really follow the script line by line and you ask the question, who killed the creator? Who killed the creator? The people that's supposed to be Christian, not true? The priest, the rabbi, the elders, and they not the one. And so who are they fooling? Who are they fooling? You see, that is why people like myself, we don't live too long, because we can see beyond the natural and we can weigh the actions that it will take some of you another 50 years to see. And when we speak it, it's like thunder, it's like gall, it is bitter. The politicians that you're running behind, they're not your friends. Politics is not your friends. They're not. But that is what we kill for. That is what, and I cannot blame you, because I was once blind, but now I can see. I was once blind, and I can't blame you, because that is how we were schooled, we were born. My grandmother in 1994, just so that you understand where I'm coming from. My grandmother in 1994, she went on national television and she told the world that she loved Papa Bird more than her children. Now, I'm a grandchild, so I didn't even count. That is how we revere our politician. So I know what I'm saying. And that was the big talk. Yes, a lot of you can remember. 1994. And so, Tiashans, the attack diasporan city will bring about fundamental economic change. And that model that we're building will be studied by doctoral students for years to come. Historians will wonder in awe, how did a people not knowing each other came together behind a vision and deliver a people that were in bondage, economic bondage, for over 400 years against the giants of the world. May I say to the global community of Tiashan, what doesn't happen in 400 years will happen in less than a day. And when it shall come to pass, none of us intact will be able to take the glory. This is Chief Abundance. Good day.